Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2. Let me check it out. Can you hear me? There we go. Jeez, man. All right, guys, man. Listen, I don't know what's been going on, man. I'm having some issues over here. YouTube is literally freezing up, shutting down. But guys, listen, man, we are back. We are live at it. And what we are talking about in this video, guys, thank you guys if you do come back and check this out, is the $80 million reason Tyson Fury will fight Deontay Wilder next. So I dropped a video about 10 minutes or so of me going through it. I'm going to pick up right after that. So if you catch this video, remember there's a part 1 and this is part 2. So let me do this, make sure this is right. Right. All right. So let's jump right back to it, guys. What we're doing, we're listening to, analyzing a interview that Tyson Fury did. We're gonna jump right back into it, man. Guys, shout out to Ohio Runs Boxing, man. Right when my internet was, now I'm thinking my internet, when YouTube was freezing up, I saw Ohio Runs Boxing came in through 2 logs on a fire just to keep the blaze burning. Let's get it, guys. Let's talk about it.
Well, I'm unhappy millionaires, aren't I? Yeah, but listen, there's all sorts of stuff goes on behind the scenes, and I was never very optimistic about it.
A matter of fact, let's go back a little bit, because I don't know how much you guys missed. Let's do this.
Deontay Wilder's put on an arbitration against me from a top judge and all the best lawyers in America. So I can't do anything about that. If you want to bring a court case against me in America, and even if I've not done anything, I've got to defend it, or else I'm guilty.
Okay.
That's how it works. So I said, all right, then let's do it. So they want to go to court and they want to fight for his rematch, and his contract had expired because of the COVID.
So, for all those that say that Deontay Wilder did not fight, or he let the contract expire, Fury just told you the reason it expired was COVID. Not that Wilder didn't want to do a rematch, not that he waited, not that he did anything wrong. The world was hit with a pandemic. Let's go.
But to be honest with you, fair is fair, and I'm a fair man myself, and if the shoe was on the other foot, I'd want my third fight.
So, he's saying that if it was Wilder that abandoned him and was trying to go on to fight Anthony Joshua, he would won his third fight. Guys, listen, we got to stop blaming Deontay Wilder. You got to stop hating Deontay Wilder for no reason. If you, to be honest, if you are a fan of boxing, if you're in the USA, if you're in London, UK, you know, doesn't matter where you're from. Even if you got your favorite fighters, Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, you should want to see the best fight, the best. You should want to. You should not want Wilder to be put out of boxing so your guy can go on and not have to fight him. That's crazy. We need these fights. Listen, I'm a Wilder fan. I respect Tyson Fury boxing ability because he can't box. I don't care for Tyson Fury because I think he is like a magician with them gloves. I think he's like a magician. But I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. I want to see Fury versus Wilder. I want to see Wilder versus Joshua. I want to see Joshua versus Fury. I want to see Wilder versus Dylan White. I want to see Dylan White versus Luis Ortiz.
Because it wasn't really my fault or Wilder's fault why the rematch never happened. It was just the world got turned on its head. And it didn't happen because of the COVID. So all of a sudden, we're in court now, and he won the case. The judge said, look, fair's fair, give the lad his rematch, and that's it. So there's not much I could even do about that. So
even if you give me your belt, would you?
No, it's not the belt.
Listen, this guy is just trying to find a way. Even if you gave up the belt, he's trying to find a way for Fury. Listen, Fury said, listen, I got to fight the man. If I was in this position, I would want the fight as well. So I understand what Wilder's coming from. And now this guy is still trying to say, if you give up the belt, and to me it's stupid. At this point, At this point, it is completely stupid for anybody to talk about Fury not fighting Wilder. Wanna know why it's completely stupid? It's because Anthony Joshua has a huge fight coming up himself, taking on Usyk. And guys, even though Usyk is a cruiserweight, moving up to heavyweight, couple fights at heavyweight now, he is a threat to beating Anthony Joshua. So at this point, guys, let's do this, right? If let's do this, or does this make better sense? Since right now, Joshua gotta fight Usyk. Can we just stop talking about Fury not fighting Wilder, giving up the belt? Can we at least stop that? Because he has to fight this man. It's contractually he has to fight the man. He just told you that Wilder's not the one that pulled out. COVID did it.
It's contracted to me. So it's got nothing to do with the belt. So I could go out with a belt, bang. And all of a sudden, then me and Wilder's fighting for no belt against each other.
So you would have to fight him contractually, and
Yeah.
what, he would sue you if you didn't, and you...
Yeah. Do you know how much the suing case was if I don't fight him? $80 million. So I'd have to think.
If Fury doesn't fight Wilder, he will have to pay Wilder $80 million. Guys, that's crazy.
It's one of them unhappy millionaires, isn't it? Yeah, but listen, there's all sorts of stuff goes on behind the scenes, and I was never very optimistic about that AJ fight happening because this was always going on in the background, and they knew all that. Eddie.
See, that's crazy. He's saying that he really wasn't optimistic about the AJ fighting because he knew about this going on. But if this was the case, why did he announce that the Anthony Joshua fight was already a done deal? Why did he do it? Listen, guys. Hold on, let me see. What they talking about? Just work related? What they said? Let me see. Hold up. Hey. Team. Okay. All right. Tyson Fury is letting you know that he played you guys the whole way. He is letting you know that you guys was treated like Pinocchio. You guys were just puppets. And he was pulling the strings and pretending that he really wanted to fight Joshua. There was already a done deal. He's fighting Joshua in Saudi Arabia. He's so excited for you when he just told you out of his mouth right now that he wasn't even optimistic about that fight happening because he know he has to deal with Deontay Wilder.
I knew it, Joshua knew it, they all knew it. But all of a sudden, it's my fault. I don't want to fight because I'm a shithouse. Please. I fight him on here now, flatten him.
I have spoken to him, and he did say it was you that backed out.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted you to admit it. He wants you to admit it.
Yeah, I backed out and I admit it. I'm scared of him. I fought the best men in the world at their prime.
Yeah.
And beat them. But I'm scared of this plum. I'm going to call him a chicken nugget.
Why chicken nugget?
Just because he's ripped and he's in good shape and I'm jealous.
Fury is a fool. I'm going to call him Chicken Nugget. Why? Because he's ripped and he's in shape and I'm jealous.
Do you respect him?
Yeah, I don't mind him. He's done really well.
Do you speak to him?
I've spoke to him lots of times.
Yeah.
We used to phone each other on FaceTime and all.
Guy, this is Tyson Fury.
Well, I can FaceTime him now.
He don't answer the phone to me no more.
Come on, let me go.
Wow. So Fury admitted he has been trying to contact Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua doesn't answer the phone anymore. Could it have been because of the whole fighting situation, or what?
While I was in America recently, he was Instagramming me, voice messages and that.
Okay.
I'm going to smash your face in, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I said, okay, do what you want. I don't really care. For them, it's like I say, it's about getting a few quid and doing what they got to do, which I respect. But I don't think the fight will happen. We've been trying to do this fight since we was 22 years old. I'm now...
You know what? I don't get it. Maybe you guys are more familiar, the UK people. Why didn't this fight happen? Like, if they've been trying to make this fight between Fury and Joshua for this many years, I know they were trying to make it between David Haye and Tyson Fury for a while. Why did it not actually happen? Was it because Tyson Fury, beat Klitschko, didn't give him a rematch, and then, did the retirement after testing positive? I don't know. You tell me.
You're stopping at him, or you think it's promoters, or...
I don't think any prize fighters, if you're getting paid a ton of money to fight, and it's what you do, was you scared of going and having a game of football?
No, but we had to play everybody.
I know. And that's how it works. But the problem is, boxing's a bit different to football because if you lose a game, it don't really matter. But when these fighters, they lose a fight and then lose another one, whatever, it's game over for them.
Yeah.
Guys, right now, I haven't listened past this point, and I'm going to say this right now. Up until this point, what he just said about boxing, I agree. Not the UFC, about boxing. It's not like football, because you know what? In football, you can go 0-16 one year. And the next year, you have a chance to redeem yourself. Well, in boxing, if you lose 2 fights, if like right now, let's say this. If Terence Crawford loses to Shawn Porter, then turn around to lose it to Danny Garcia, they're going to say he's done. He's shot. He should retire. He's done. Boxing is high stakes. Boxing is high stakes. Every fight is like you're literally fighting for your career. And it's crazy. The ones that actually do get the second chance is the ones that consider these cab drivers that mess around and beat somebody who they shouldn't beat.
So, they can make...
What the Magic Man said, what happened? Did you have to restart? Bro, it was YouTube, man. I don't know, man. Like, my system's saying everything's running good. I'm going to YouTube. YouTube is talking about not enough this, not enough that. And then the whole app just froze. And I kept trying to go back into YouTube. It wouldn't even load the page for me to go live. And then when it would load the page for me to go live, when I went live, it wouldn't show anything. Listen, man, YouTube was having some issues. I'm live now, but as you can see, my stream is not being promoted. So I'm live, but it's not being promoted. So if you guys can smash the like button, I hate that he got cut off. Listen, I hate it, but let's get it.
money fighting Joe Bloggs, or they can make double or treble fighting me, but then they've lost, and then they can't go again. So they fight 2 or 3 people and get the same amount, and that's how they do it. But to be honest,
people love you because you take on authority, because you are, you know, people can...
Let me see if I can comment. You know what, guys? To me right here, it doesn't look like Fury's in that bad of a shape, but I do realize he has a shirt on.
If you're not going to take on the boxing authorities, the system, the crap... That
Jesus Christ, this guy's still talking about this.
But it's not the authorities. It's got nothing to do with boxing.
These promoters then, or these promoters...
This dude is still talking about if you're not going to take on the boxing authorities. Like, this guy is still so pissed off that Deontay Wilder decided to fight for what even Fury said I would fight for, his 3rd fight. This guy, like, you're not going to take on boxing authorities. Like, come on, bro. Tyson Fury told you guys he had the best lawyers in America. And he lost to Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder was right. Stop talking about it. Because if this was Anthony Joshua, you would be doing something. You'd be acting completely different. Completely different.
We're sort of calling the shots, and in football you obviously have football agents, and sometimes the players get messed around a little bit, but in boxing these promoters are running the shop. They're deciding who fights, who gets the money, and they're taking money off boxers, they're managing boxers, they're running their lives. It feels a bit dirty, it feels a bit manky to watch.
Do you know what?
No,
Boxing's been going on for
I don't know if
time.
I don't know if it has any more good stuff on it. I hate it. I had to start this stream over, but guys, literally YouTube. You know, a lot of times people blame YouTube, and sometimes it's their system. Sometimes it is YouTube. This is actually YouTube. Like, YouTube wouldn't even load where I could go live. It wasn't even loading. It was airing out. It was airing out. And now I start over. If you're fighting top fighters and taking a loss, boxers like Porter and Tresor still get big fights. You know what? Here's the difference. And you know what? You know what? With those 2 fighters, you're right. I don't know how much they're getting paid. But to me, Tresor is one of them guys that he can lose. And because his fan base is so loyal, he can always fight. Shawn Porter didn't see. Shawn Porter is a little bit different. He just didn't lose. He'll beat somebody, lose to Keith Thurman, beat somebody, lose to Earl Smith Jr., beat somebody. Shawn Porter's biggest thing to me is that when it comes to The really big fights, the really big ones, where there's a 50-50 chance in that fight or he's actually picked to lose, those are the ones that he has been struggling to get that win with. Even when he beat Ugas, many people thought that Ugas won that fight, or arguably could have been a draw, but they gave it to Shawn Porter. Now listen, I also believe that what is happening, I don't think it goes with every fighter. I don't think so. I think if Terence Crawford loses to Shawn Porter, and first of all, if he loses to Shawn Porter, they're gonna that whole pound for pound boxing, they're gonna wrap that off the map. They're gonna clean it off the map. And if he loses another one back after that, they're gonna say he are who we thought he was. He's not that good. He's not a true welterweight. The first time he touches the real welterweight, they're gonna shit on him. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep cooking.
And it's always been the same. It's not so much the boxing promoters or the fighters. It's just you've got so many organisations, but you also have.
There's a lot of organisations.
Bodies. You've got the WBC,
right,
the WBA, the IBF, WBO, and.
But you don't need restructuring.
And all of them people have all.
You know what? To be honest, man, you know what I would like, right? I know. My thing is, I think if I could take the sanctioning bodies down, I think I may take it down to just 2. And I would have those 2 to be, somebody has to be governed over them. So when you get like what's happening with the WBC, how they change rules when somebody tests positive that fit the description or fit the marketability that they want, that somebody needs to keep them in check. But the reason I would not just have it as one, which is cool, because I kind of want that you know, champion on this side, and then they collide, because you always get that major champion versus champion feel, and I think that type of atmosphere is still pretty big, and I would like that. I don't think I would just have it as one. I don't think so. I mean, just one belt. Now, one fighter can have both belts, but not just one belt.
Their own world title belts.
Yeah.
So say you box.
But as it stands right now, there's way too many belts.
WBC and I box for the WBO. Then all of a sudden your governing body wants you to keep boxing for your belt, and they keep making money because they get paid every time, and you keep defending whatever, and then my governing body want me to do the same.
All right,
all of a sudden,
I gotta skip past this. I'm gonna hear this.
Why is that system not being?
I gotta skip past this.
That they're gonna lose. See me, right? I had 3 years out of the ring. I was on drugs and alcohol every day. I was fat as I was 28 stone, yeah? And I come back, and in 6 months I fought Deontay Wilder. And at the time, he was the most feared knockout artist in the history of our sport.
Okay.
I said, right, the fat bald man will fight you, because all the rest of them won't, because you keep going back and forward, this, that and the other. A side, B side, money, this, that and the other. I said, okay, I'll fight.
You know what? Right now, what he's saying, if I heard it correct, he's correct. He retired. That boy was big, man, and he came back, and Joshua Wilder didn't come to an agreement. Well, matter of fact, they did. People are going to deny this, but they actually came to an agreement. Even though many people felt that Wilder should not have agreed to the flat $15 million, he agreed to it. And the moment he agreed to it, I don't remember if it was the WBO or the WBA, one of them ordered a 24-hour had to make a deal with his mandatory and not fight Wilder. It was something crazy, something unheard of. Because Wilder, they went back and forth, 12 million, 12.5, 15 million, 50 million. You know, they went back and forth. And then when Wilder said, you know what, fine. I take the 15 million flat. And I can't remember right now offhand if it was the WBA or the WBO. When Wilder agreed to it, they're like, what? Oh, hey, right now, order. Joshua has to fight his mandatory, and he has to make a deal within 24 hours. And Eddie Hearn like, well, you see that, Wilder? We can't fight you next. We got to make a deal within 24 hours. And that 24-hour deal turned into about a week.
sudden I've gone in there and absolutely battered him, and everyone's like, oh well, is that what it was all about? They don't want to fight prime. Like Joshua's fought not one heavyweight in his prime. Like he fought Klitschko at 42 years old, Pulev 40 odd,
Yeah.
Vetkin 40 odd. They're all like former.
Well,
good men.
Talking about champions, Andy Reid was in his prime, but Andy Reid was picked to just beat somebody that he can just beat up. It didn't go that way.
In the early 2000s, late 2000s, well, not in 2020 odd. They were good men 10 years ago.
Do you not believe he wants you now? He said he wants you now.
How can he have me now if I've got a rematch with Wilder? And the big thing is as well, right, I tell you what they always do, and he already fell victim to it, Joshua.
What is it?
They talk about fights that's not happening. Like, everybody wants to talk to me about the Joshua fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't care about the fight that I'm having. All of a sudden, they want me to look over what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Fury is letting you guys know right now. Fury is saying, listen, everybody want me to look past Deontay Wilder, right? They want me to look past the fight I got now and look forward to Anthony Joshua.
And then get chinned.
And he said, so I'm going to look past Wilder, think about Joshua, and then I'm going to get chinned by Deontay Wilder.
And all of a sudden, I'm laid on my back flat by Wilder, and he's taking my position.
Is that the danger with this fight? Because the impression that everyone has of you is that you're fearless at your fight. No one...
I've proved that time and time again. I've only got 2 or 3 fights left because there's no...
Whoa, what happened to the fight? Wait a minute. What happened to the 5-fight plan he said? Remember, he said Dylan White, Anthony Joshua. He said Dylan White, Anthony Joshua. No. Deontay Wilder, Dylan White, Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora. Now it's only 2 or 3?
More challenges. They've all been beaten.
Who are the 2 or 3?
So I've got Wilder next.
Yeah.
And then providing they get through that, then I've got AJ. But if he doesn't take the fight, then there's a lack of challenges now. They've all gone. They've all been smashed to bits. My dream from being a little kid was to
Warzone in the building. What's going on? Champ, salute. What's up, big dog?
beat Klitschko. And then when I'd completed it, it was game over for me.
Let me,
You think that's the only reason he wants to fight?
Listen, he wants a chance to avenge his loss as well.
Yeah.
His only loss.
All right, looks like they're asking about Deontay Wilder. Why does Deontay Wilder want to fight?
$. That's what he wants.
Hold on.
Again.
Let me do this. Here we go.
Why does Wilder want you again? Money?
One clear thing.
Yeah.
$30 million. That's what he wants. Again.
30
That's the only
million.
reason he wants to fight.
Listen, he wants a chance to avenge his loss as well.
Yeah.
His only loss. And he knows he's got a massive punch, so he could end the fight in one punch.
Is it a massive punch?
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Hey,
been boxing all my life, and
hey. Fury answered that quickly. He said, is it a massive punch? Fury said, yeah. He said, hold on, let's hear me say, I've been boxing all my life. I'm going to go back.
I'd never heard of this.
Let me go back. Listen to
His
him.
only loss, and he knows he's got a massive punch, so he could end the fight in one punch.
Is it a massive punch?
Yeah. I've been boxing all my life, and I'd never heard of this knockout power where he touches you and you fall over. And I wasn't convinced about the power of the Alabama Slammer, the 40-odd knockouts in a row.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, it must be a gimmick. Got to be. I wasn't bothered about the power anyway. I thought Klitschko had 60-odd knockouts.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Listen, man, it sounds like Fury is about to tell you how hard Wilder hits. He said, listen.
Even affect me. So I gets in there. I'm thinking, okay, jab. I'm thinking, this is easy. This can't be right.
This is
Must
easy.
be in a dream. All of a sudden, I went to block a jab, and I felt his knuckle go right through my hand. It nearly broke my hand, and I went, shit. Then I got hit by that.
Damn! He said that Wilder threw a jab, and he blocked the jab, and the jab nearly went through his hand, and down there broke his hand. And
If that's the jab, what's the right hand going to be like?
woo!
And he really does have the power where you don't feel it. You can get punched in the face, and you see a blue flash, it hurts you. But then you've got real dynamite punches like Wilder. It's like it just switches you off like a light switch. I got dropped in round 9 with him in the first fight, and he just like touched me at the back of the head. It was sort of there, like a left up there. And I just opened my eyes and I was on the floor and I thought, shit, right, get up.
Wow.
You're obviously down. Because you don't know, because your brain's been rattled. You don't realise what's happened. And then you get up.
Listen, man, I see why Fury did not want this third fight. I see why. The way he talk about Wilder is if, like, he is the most dangerous man on the planet when it comes to boxing. He said he can turn you out like that. He said he was hit, and next thing you know, he was waking up on the canvas. How would you feel if you just fought somebody that lived up to the height of the power that they say he has? Remember, he said that He didn't believe in it. Wilder made him a believer. First-hand believer.
And then in round 12, he hit me with a right hand, and that was it. I opened my eyes and I saw a referee going, 4. Get up now, idiot. You've been dropped again. And that was it. I just rushed to my feet and got up. But
is that right? You don't know what's happened?
Yeah, when you get hit by a proper puncher, you don't know what's happened because you don't see it coming.
Hey, at least he just admitted, he said, when you get hit by a proper puncher, I guess Wilder's a proper puncher.
It's like someone going from behind you and hitting you in the face and you don't know what's happened. You couldn't say it was him or him because you didn't see it. And that's what happens when you get clipped proper off a dynamite, and that's what Wilder's got. But I don't know if it was the effect of me losing 10 stone and then fighting him in 6 months period, which would affect anybody.
Lost
because
10
in the
stones in
second
6
fight,
months.
I took his best punches clean, like big rights on the jaw in round 2, and it never even affected me. I walked right through him. But maybe because I'd had another 18 months on top of the first fight. So yeah, I don't know if he really is that big a puncher, but we'll find out anyway in October.
Excited?
Very.
Listen, guys, he said this is one. Oh man, this right here, bro. This right here is a good one. Tyson Fury admitted. He said this one is for the archive. Hey, Tyson Fury admitted that he cannot duck Deontay Wilder. He said that the contract is not with the belt. It goes to him, Wilder. I mean, on Fury. He said even if he drops the belt, he would still have to fight Deontay Wilder. He said Fury mind games. He got something, man. But listen, I don't think Fury's lying right here. Listen, Fury said that he didn't believe the power was real. 40 fights, 40 knockouts. He didn't believe the power was real. Remember in the beginning, guys, when they first were going to fight the first time, and Fury got up and said, let me feel that power, let me feel that power. He was for real. He wanted to get a sample to see how the power really felt. And he said he got in the first fight like, oh man, this is easy. This can't be nothing. And then Wilder threw a jab, and the jab damn near broke his hand. And he said if the jab felt like that, what did the right hand feel like? Fury, you know who Fury reminds me of? Fury reminds me of Loki. You guys know Loki from the Avengers, right? The god of mischief? That's Fury, man. Fury is one of them guys that sometimes, like, you don't know if he's really been for real. You don't know if he's not been for real because he's always got something up his sleeve.
Chance to avenge his loss as well. His only loss, and he knows he's got a massive punch, so he could end the fight in one punch.
Is it a massive punch?
Yeah. I've been boxing all my life, and I'd never heard of this knockout power where he touches you and you fall over, and I wasn't convinced about the power of the Alabama Slammer, the 40-odd knockouts in a row. I thought to myself, it must be a gimmick. Got to be. I wasn't bothered about the power anyway. I thought Klitschko had 60-odd knockouts, and it didn't even affect me. So I gets in there, I'm thinking, okay, jab. I'm thinking, this is easy. This can't be right. It must be in a dream. All of a sudden, I went to block a jab, and I felt his knuckle go right through my hand. It nearly broke my hand, and I went, shit, better not get hit by that. If that's the jab, what's the right hand going to be like? And he really does.
All right, guys, let me get out of here, man. I've been doing this too long. All right, guys, salute to the guys that came back and watched the second stream. I apologize. Had some issue with YouTube. YouTube was not loading for a while. It doesn't look like they actually put this one out. Compulsive liar he is. So I'm going to cut it short. I got to finish your work. I only got a few more minutes, though. Thank you guys for coming. Looks like we do have a fight October 9th. Looks like if Fury doesn't show up, he will have to pay Wilder $80 million. And I don't think, even if he had $80 million, he just want to give it over to Wilder. When he can fight Wilder, even in laws, make about 30 or 40 million, then not fight Wilder and have to pay him 80. Guys, it's your boy TDub, Blazing Sports. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel, share this carrot, and I'm out.